couldn't help it. I began to cry profusely. Why was this happening? Why was I here? If this was another nightmare, I want to wake up immediately. This wasn't right. I covered my face and cried in my hands, killing over myself as I felt sadness run through my entire body. Please let me wake up. Please. I felt warmth suddenly spread through my body. I slowly stopped and felt fresh air rush in my lungs. What was happening? I recognized this warmth. I looked up to see Diana kneeling down with a very concerned look on her face. Her visible eyes glowing on warm golden color as she stared at me. Why was she enthralling me? I didn't feel aroused like I felt usually whenever I was enthralled, but I felt calm and almost mellow.
Calm down.
Trying to. Diana's voice seemed almost soothing like a lullaby. However, I wasn't sleepy. I just felt quiet. The worry I had in my mind was gone. The sadness gone. Diana must have done something to make sure I wouldn't cry. I didn't know whether to thank her or be afraid.
Now, can you tell me what happened? Take your time and try to remember everything.
Well, I was getting dressed in my bedroom, and apparently I was glowing, and I thought it was Eric's doing. But then apparently the demons thought that I had my own demon powers. And apparently, yeah, they kidnapped me. I got a funny feeling it's not her powers.
Succubus.
Shut up.
Have no time for...
Somebody clapped him on the back of the head. He's being rude.
Shh! Let her do her thing. The human obviously knows her. And she obviously needs help. Poor thing.
Why did she call her Diana, though?
That must have been the human name she used while she was in the human world. Smart.
All of you, please!
Silence engulfed the room as Diana looked at the four beings behind her. She then turned back to me and held out a hand, ushering me to take it.
Can you stand?
Yes. I nodded and took a hand, standing at last. I looked around at the other beings in the room. They all kept their gazes at me, unsure what I would do or say. Diana, however, led the conversation.
First, can you tell me what happened to you?
I just did. I took a breath and recounted everything that I'd already told everybody here. I was tapped by the darkness. A couple of hands grabbed my legs and pulled me in it, and then I fell here.
A shadow summoning?
I know, rude, isn't it? Diana turned to one of the beings, the lanky man, and glared.
One of yours couldn't have.
On my honor, it wasn't any of mine. We have nothing to gain from kidnapping a human. Nor do we know who this woman is, anyhow.
My lady, if I may, I clearly remember hearing imp demons in the void along with her. It must have been the Demon Lord's henchmen.
Yep, I'm pretty sure I heard the Demon Lord cackling or something. You know, being annoying like he normally is.
Those damnable creatures.
Then crossed her arms and looked at me again.
Well, dear, it seems that you were to be either a new harem girl for the Demon Lord to ravish, or bait for the boys to return to their father's side. Either way, I doubt you would have lived long had the Demon Lord gotten his hands on you.
No doubt about that, though I kind of disagree a little bit there about some things, but whatever. I felt a shiver right up my spine. Was it true I would have died? Yes, most likely.
Wait a minute. This girl knows about the Demon Lord's heirs?
Yes. Hilariously enough, she was set to marry one of them, as you can see from her garb.
As I had an emotion towards my dress, I realized how vulnerable I was.
Well, since you do not belong here, the obvious thing to do is to send you home.
Yay! I couldn't believe my ears. You would really send me back?
Of course. It should be easy to do once everything is in order. It'll be like you never left the human world.
Marvelous! Wait, never left the human world? What do you mean by never left the human world? Dennis stared, before chuckling softly and gesturing to the room and beings within it.
Dear, do you not realize where you are? You are in the demon world.
My mind went blank. I felt myself back against the wall behind me. That was impossible. Diana stepped towards me, both of her hands softly trying to show me she meant no harm as she positioned them in front of her body.
Do not panic. We will send you back now, so there's nothing to worry about.
Thank you.
How will you power the spell? Bringing someone here is no easy task, but sending someone back consumes much more energy.
I'll use what energy I have now and rest. We can organize the siege another time when I fully recover. It's not like the Demon Lord can escape the corner we've trapped him in, so we do have some time to spare.
You'd waste time and energy on this human. We must strike now while the Demon Lord is weakened.
But the human doesn't belong here. She needs to go home.
Shall I prepare the return spell?
Do. I grant you permission to use my energy to power the spell.
With a nod, the lanky man held out his hands towards the wall. I looked over in the direction it was aimed at. Diana's shadow. I watched as Diana's shadow simply stood against the wall. Before my eyes, the tower began to morph and expand on the wall on its own. And of course, Diana was convulsing slightly in pain and wrapping her arms around herself, and she was clenching her teeth. It was agony. Was the spell hurting her that badly? I turned back to the wall to see Diana's shadow shaking and vibrating as if it was resisting the change the man was forcing on it.
You will obey my command. Open the gates to the void, and allow passage to the world we seek.
Transitum per renan peto tranibris. Ubi aperiut. Iano ium. Decidir.
Upon Diana's finding the world, her shadow burst and expanded into an oval-shaped doorway. I stared wide-eyed at the passage before a hand placed itself on my shoulder, forcing me to look over. The one with the spear gently pressed my shoulder forward and looked down at me with an almost stern face.
You must leave now. The faster you leave, the quicker we can close the void.
Go! Go! Go get married!
I quickly nodded, lifted the bottom of my dress, stepping forward to make a run for the passageway. However, before I could bolt towards my freedom, a snarl echoed through the room.
How dare you interfere with my summoning!
Well, at least he knows when somebody touches his stuff. At the moment, Diana began to scream, arching his spine and throwing her head back. Around her body were red-tinted bolts of lightning, flashing and shocking her foe.
No! Human! Use the passage! Now!
He didn't have to tell me twice. The bolted towards the portal, diving forward as I neared it, but I was forced back by a burst of energy and a flash of red light. I fell to the floor, slamming my head onto the stone.
A human will never, ever leave this world alive!
You spineless worm!
You dick!
Close the portal! The Demon Lord might get through!
Oh, he doesn't want to go through there.
But the human...
Close it!
You poor Diana. Well, simply the spell disappeared off Diana and she tipped forward, landing on the guy with the spear. He was holding her up.
I don't sense the Demon Lord anywhere.
I like how the calmness just returns. They're all like, oh god, it's gone, it's stopped now.
The worm has to scurry through the shadows to try and fight back. He'll be dead soon enough.
How is she, guard?
Diana seemed to look uninjured, but her body was twitching from the aftermath of the magical attack. Her visible eyes were shut tight as she dug her fingers into the guard's jacket to cling to him. As her eyes opened, I saw not bloody ruby red colour, but I saw a cold and unfriendly gold coloured eye painted over her irises. Her mouth opened as she panted for air. I could see hunger in her facial expression, but she continued to stare at the wall, not wanting to make eye contact with anyone.
There are no physical wounds, but she's been weakened. I must give her my energy so she can recover.
The man swiftly moved and hooked her arm underneath Diana's knee, lifting her up bridles as she clung to his jacket, shivering. The spear that had fallen to the floor fading to purple and black mist as he quickly left the room with her in his arms. My mind, however, began to panic. I couldn't go home. Why was I being forced to stay? Damn the Demon Lord. This wasn't right.
There's an imp in the castle. That is the only way the Demon Lord could have been able to interfere.
Oh, bloody imps.
You! Guards by the door! Hunt it down!
A pair of guards that were apparently by the door saluted the one commanding them and run off. I fell out of place, alone, terrified as to what was going to happen. The Demon Lord wanted me here, and his words pounded at my mind. How was I going to get home? Would I ever be able to go home?
Hey.
Yes? I looked up to see the winged person hovering near me before they moved and sat on their knees on the stone ground beside me.
We'll get you home, okay? Diana just needs a little rest, okay?
So sounds like Matthew to me. That one sounds like Damien.
She needs more than rest. She needs to use a different spell to send her back. The Demon Lord will expect her to use the shadow spell again.
This reminds me a bit of like Sam's attitude. A bit of the brute. I don't know which one of these two would be Eric and which one would be... No, Eric would definitely be the one helping Diana right now. That, you know, the whole thing about giving her energy and everything. So this one might be kind of a representation of James. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is definitely a girl. I don't know how our character can't tell this is a woman.
How about the normal way? I'm sure we can connect to a witch, or even the warlock she used before, to reopen a portal to the human world.
The warlock she used to get to the human world died, remember? And he was the most powerful warlock in the human world, practically a god himself. What other human could be used to open a portal without another human dying?
It was merely a suggestion. The faster we get this human home, the faster we can move on and finish off the Demon Lord.
Well, what are we going to do with a human now?
We can give her a room to rest in. Humans need sleep after all. Maybe by the time she wakes up, we'll think of a solution.
Come.
The woman with the rabbit ears looked down at me and lowered her hands to me, inviting me to take it. She had a kind but concerned expression on her face, so I trusted her. I slowly took her hand and began to stand up as the fairy figure brushed off the small patches of dust that accumulated on my dress.